guys, what's going on? Buck here, and welcome to a video where we'll discuss each and every one class in the game and loadout and attachments. So let's begin. So the first class is Commander. He's a team leader, he's the chief of all the other players, and he can call in like airstrikes and stuff, smoke barrages and stuff. He's a pretty powerful class, but you gotta know how to use him, otherwise you will be useless as a commander. Then we'll get the Observer. Observer is actually the helper of the commander. He helps him. He has binoculars and stuff, and he knows like the coordinates. And when like the commander calls in for a barrage right in front of him, the Observer gotta be near him so he can call in with the radio that airstrike, or that whatever smoke barrage. Rifleman is your standard issued rifleman. He has the rifle. He doesn't have anything like special on him. He's just a rifleman. It's like you get the rifleman when you do not know what to get. So Breacher has SMG, shotguns and stuff. He's the close quarters class of Insurgency. Might be helpful for games like Firefight, where you're on a pretty close quarters map and you get like A and B pretty close and you need to clear out small rooms. Then you get the Gunner, which he's the heavy class. He has an LMG. At the moment I think we got only one LMG, but in the future there will be more. Then you get the Demolitions class, which is the only class I think that has a launcher. RPG and MOS for the security. With a handful for like games where you need to take out vehicles or helicopters. Then you get the Advisor class. This class has the coolest guns in all the game. It has like guns like the FAL, the MK17 Mod 0, also known as the Scar, and some others that are pretty cool, and you cannot take them with the other classes. Last but not least, we got the Marksman class. Now this class is for like longer range, which actually is not very common right now in the game, but you have some maps and some game modes that you can actually snipe, like with 7x scope. Otherwise you will gotta be forced to put a 4x on it and use it as a rifle in more of a close quarter scenario, but also using it as a sniper, but not with that magnification advantage. So let's quickly run through all of the classes, guns, and what they got. So you got Commander over here, you got this guy. For guns, he has the G3A3, the SKS, the AKM, M16A2, M16A4, AK74, D36K, and M4A1. These guns represent the guns for both factions. So you got like the G3, the M16A4, the G36K, and the M4 are in the security faction, and the AKs, the M16A2 and the SKS are in the Insurgents faction. You can slot every optic you want actually. You get holographics, cobras, you get 2x's, which like has a little magnifier over there. You get 4x scopes that you can slot on, like ACOGs, and I believe this is the LCAN. You get 4 grips that you can slot on the guns. You get flash hiders, long bars, compensators, suppressors and stuff. You can also attach the laser sight, which on the G3 is like down here. On other guns, like it's an actual module that goes on top or like on the side. And you can also slot tracer rounds. Now with the further development of the game, you will be able to use AP or HP rounds and everything that your mind can imagine considering rounds, because you got AP, BS, BP, all of these different stat ammo rounds, which will cost points. So if you want to have an M4 that chews through armor pretty fast, you will have to sacrifice not putting on an optic or something. Now as far as pistols go, these are all the pistols in the game. You'll see them only this time because they're the same for every class. You got the Glock over here, which is not mentioned as Glock, but hey, this is the Glock. You get the M1911, you get the M45, pretty cool gun. You get the M9, you got this one, you got the Browning HP, you got the Tariq, and you got the Makarov, which is actually 0 points. So if you're playing as an insurgent, you shouldn't be having an excuse for not having a sidearm. Now as far as explosives go, I will show them to you one time because they're the same for every class. You got smokes, flashes, incendiary grenades, and frags. So each one has its own cost on supply points. I lean towards frags more because I don't see myself using smoke grenades or flashes this much as I do use frags. Also, he has the binoculars, so he can call in like airstrikes and stuff. And then you got the heavy carrier and the light carrier. Now, these depend on like what you want to take on the battlefield with you. If you want to take more than two gadgets, so like throwables, you gotta take the heavy carrier. Otherwise, you want to take the light carrier, which limits you to only two. If you get the heavy carrier, you get an extra slot over here. Now we got armor, we got light and heavy armor. These have a great impact on the gameplay, like how many bullets you take to actually go down. I prefer heavy armor, but if I don't have enough supply points, I might like rock the light armor with a heavy kitted gun, so I get the advantage over my gun, like it's better and I can aim faster and stuff. Now accessories, you can use the gas mask. I don't use it personally this much because I don't see myself running into smokes pretty often, because most of the times, whether it's a smoke on the ground, there's somebody hiding in it, so you don't want to be running with a smoke gas mask through it. But besides that, the gas mask makes you not cough when you get into the smoke, so you don't give away your position. And now we got the combat knife, standard knife. More will come. Right now we're on beta. So for the observer class, again, you get the same guns, same kind of attachments, except you can do drum mags over here. It's like there are slight differences between its class, but you can put drum mags, which is like pretty good, because when you're an observer, you really need your commander to stay alive, so you're kind of a support for him. All the other things are the same as the commander. Now rifleman, again, the same, with the same mags and drum mags and stuff. You get explosives and stuff, they're all the same over here. Breacher, now things change on Breacher. For security, you get the M870, you get the MP7 and the MK18 CQBR. These are the guns that you can use as the security, and if you are on the flip side, you can use the TOS, the Uzi, and the AKS. Now, all of these have different type of attachments, as you see, like you can slot different things on them. But generally, you get like for the carbines and the rifles, you get 4x scopes. For the shotguns, you get up to 2x. You can slot foregrip, suppressors, laser sights, and on the shotgun you can slot flechette or slug rounds. Over here you can do drum mag or extended mag, just the standard SMG things. Now on the gunner, we got two guns. We got the M249 and the PKM Panchang. These have the same optics, but you see that they're less over here and more over here. This is because I'm viewing all of the factions attachments, and in the first gun they're all showing, in the second gun they show less. But however, you will not be able to put a holographic on the Panchang because it's not the faction's optic. Now for barrels, you can go suppressor and long barrel for both. And over here you can do flash hider and compensator for the extras. Like as you see over here in the security side of things, you get more customization. But the gun fires 5.56 ammo compared to the other one who fires 7.62. So it does more damage, but it doesn't have this much of attachments. On the demolition side of things, you get all of your guns that are like a little bit more kitted out, so they can like fire grenade rounds. Over here you see you can do underneath bar launchers and stuff, smoke launchers and explosive launchers. This can be attached to all of the guns that you got, except the two DMRs. The DMRs cannot take this attachment because it will be too OP. Now you get C4s, you get AT4s, you got MAAWS, and you get RPGs. You can also have mines, which they're not really useful, but you can use them in certain situations. Then you get heavy carriers and light carriers and light and heavy armor. And you get the gas mask. Now for me personally, I would use the demolitions class only for playing against vehicles, or if I see a helicopter just roaming above us and shooting us, I will take demolitions and like shoot it down. Now onto the advisor. As you see over here, I got a pretty cool setup going on here. We got the MK17 Mod 0, which is the SCAR, the infamous SCAR rifle. You cannot do extended mags on some of the guns over here because it is way too OP, because they're way too good. Like this one over here doesn't have this much recoil, so it would be silly to have a 30 round mag instead of a 20 round mag. Now you got the AK-47U, you got the MK18 CQBR, you got the SVD, which is a DMR style rifle but it's semi-auto, and then you got the FAL, which is something like the G3A3. You can also have the L85A2, which personally I don't like, but you can use it. And last but not least, you got the Marksman. So their Marksman has MK14 EBR, has the SVD, M16A4 because you might want some kind of M4. I don't know why this is here. Also, you got the Mosin Nagant, pretty cool rifle, issued somewhere in the World War II or something. You can also like slot stripper clips on it and stuff. You can do all of the scopes, and then you got the M24, which is the beast. Like, this is the beastly gun of all. So guys, today we ran through over every single class, and we discussed which class is like, you know, for which reason. I also hope you learned something from the attachment page, and like you can now you cannot kit your guns accordingly to your mission, because most of the times what we do is like we kit out our gun and then we do not have any points left for armor, for grenades and smoke grenades, and even for our sidearms. With some modifications on the sidearm, they're pretty important to have, but we do not use them because we got a kitted out MK17 Mod 0 with like a 4x and a suppressor and a foregrip and stuff and a laser sight, and then we just run around not knowing what we do, and then we get killed by a dude that has an iron sight AK-74, but he has bigger armor, he has the tactical smokes and grenades, and he kills us because he can play the game better. We are limited to our gun. This is the only way we can interact with the enemy, and that's not always good in this game. So guys, I hope that helped you understand the game and how like each class works. My name is Bak, and I will see you in the next one.